Well, let's welcome Forbes Media Chairman and Editor-in-Chief Steve Forbes and the CEO of Laffer Tengler Investments, Nancy Tengler. First to you, Steve. Okay, the irony is pretty rich here. We have 4 dozen workers at Randi Weingarten's teachers union, the NEA. They just voted to go on strike against the teachers union. It's coming out of Atlanta. So this is a teachers union which is always calling for strikes at schools hurting children, and they're now striking against themselves?
I think it's a rich justice for that union and Randi Weingarten, and it's too bad that not more are doing it. They did immense harm to the students of this country, really set millions of them back in their education, unnecessarily closed the schools, and so by doing that much harm, they deserve that little strike. And I hope more join it. And it also underscores, by the way, what happens when you have Biden inflation. People want to keep up with the cost of living. So she gets rich contracts for teachers, then tells them not to show up in classrooms. So getting a little bit of their own medicine, I just hope they get more of it.
Yeah, more of it. What do you think, Nancy?
I agree with Steve. I think it's a Shakespearean illustration of reaping what you sow. But as someone who came of age during the COLA wage price spiral inflation of the 1970s, I know one thing, and that is that low-income families are the ones that pay for this kind of nonsense out of their pocketbook. And I think Americans are getting tired of it. I had the great privilege of teaching the great books at the college level, and you learn one thing from the great books, and that is human nature never changes, and that's what we're seeing in spades.
Yeah,
this has all been done
right.
and said before, and it doesn't help anyone.
We hear you, Nancy, loud and clear. Now, this story, Steve, this is being called major gaslighting by the Democrat National Committee, that not even a Democrat could believe what they're saying. They're claiming Biden, on average, has created 423,000 jobs every month, and that Trump lost an average of 56,000 a month. This is kind of the propaganda that voters are going to see. So the DNC is attacking Trump for jobs lost during COVID shutdowns, but then giving Biden the credit for the economy clawing back those jobs after reopening.
Well, I think it was Mark Twain who said, he was quoting Disraeli, the prime minister, they're lies, damn lies, and statistics. And that's the game they're playing there. We're picking the beginning and then picking what we have today. And they're just digging themselves in a big, big, bad hole politically as the economy gets worse next year. You look at those job reports in the last 2 months, not very good when you dig into them, being revised downwards. And the household survey, which does a better survey in terms of employment at small businesses, that went down sharply last month and was plunked the month before. So you got real headwinds coming on the economy, and these guys are boasting about it, calling it Bidenomics. That's like Hoovernomics of the Great Depression. We won't have a depression, but it's certainly not going to help Joe Biden win the election next year, and which is one reason why he's not going to be on the ballot next year for the Democrats.
You know, a House budget report says the president Biden can't take credit for about 70% of the job growth he's taking credit for. Okay, Nancy, this story. A new Yahoo YouGov poll, majority of Democrat primary voters, 54%, say they don't want to see Biden on the ticket. They want another Democrat on the ticket in 2024. You're going to see a Fox News poll highlighting where Biden is losing key Democrat voting bases, and Trump is leading Biden in this poll. What do you think?
Well, I think even at the corporate level, Liz, we have age limits for CEOs and members of the board of directors. And so I think what people are seeing is a severely diminished man who is making policy decisions that are not benefiting them personally. So the UMich FT polls showed that 14% of Americans think they are better off financially since President Biden took office. And I'm pretty sure that 14% lives inside the Beltway. They are out of touch with America. And I think that both parties should take a fresh look, because we really do need young leadership in the country.
Yeah, and what Nancy's saying, Steve, you know what's showing the way, and you've been big on this, 25 states, Arizona, New Hampshire, and on, they've cut individual income taxes over the past 3 years. A bunch of them, Iowa, Georgia, Idaho, they're moving to a flat tax. And Arkansas and Mississippi, they want to wipe out their income taxes altogether, like joining the likes of Florida and Texas. I mean, this is a big rebuke to how they're doing it in D.C.
Well, that's right. And that's the wonderful thing about the federal system we have today, where states can do things differently. And we see the stark contrast between New York, California, Illinois, and these red states that are cutting tax rates, making themselves business friendly. They're getting people, they're getting capital, they're getting growth. They have a better future. And I hope one of the Republican candidates comes along and advocates something bold, like the flat tax or a big tax cut, like Ronald Reagan did in 1980, and show the country we can get this country moving again in a good, bold, and positive direction. People are hungering for it, and they've shown it on the state level.
I knew we would give some early Christmas cheer to Steve Forbes with that flat tax talk. Steve Forbes, Nancy Tengler, you're terrific. We'll have you back on again soon.
Thank you.